Hi, my name is Katie Nam, and this is my final project for HSES 831. Sports enhance social and cultural life by bringing together individuals and communities. Everywhere you go in the US and across the world, sports are ingrained in cultures and they have an intrinsic value to people and places. Role models in sports, in particular coaches, can play an important part in maintaining the integrity and value of the sport. These lessons learned through sports, even at a young age, transcend the playing field and contribute to shaping the character and culture of people and communities. Throughout this course, we took a deeper look into our personal values and ethical beliefs in sports. The modules made me take a closer look at what I personally value and how I make ethical decisions on a daily basis. What is ethics? I am faced with many different ethical dilemmas and have to be ready to act when they arise. In order to take action quickly, one must know what they value. My favorite definition of ethics in this module was ethics is the difference between knowing what is right to do and what you have the right to do. Ethics is a practical discipline aimed at how one ought to live their life. I believe that morals and ethics could be interchangeable, and they both distinguish the difference between good and bad or right and wrong. The difference between the two, in my opinion, is that morals are personal or what you believe, and ethics is more of a standard or guideline distinguished by a community or social group. One could believe that something is morally appropriate but unethical, and vice versa. Personally, I believe I use more of a deontological or rule-based approach to ethics. I also tend to lean towards the natural law theory. I believe that there's a greater power that has a well-ordered plan for me. Deontological ethics is a theory of morality based on a non-consequentialist view of people and moral decision-making. Deontological ethics maintains that actions are not justified by their consequences, but rather factors other than a good outcome can determine the rightness of actions. For me, I believe this comes from growing up in a Christian community and household in a small town. Growing up, we were always taught that there is a right way to do things and certain rules you should obey no matter the consequences. Immanuel Kant came up with the concept of dignity. Kant argued that objects can be valuable in two different ways. They can have a price or dignity. If something has a price, it is valuable only because it is useful to us. By contrast, things with dignity are valued for their own sake. They can't be used as tools for our own goals. Instead, we are required to show them respect. I believe that we should show everyone respect they deserve, and that they cannot be used as tools towards our own goals. Immanuel Kant was also known for creating the Golden Rule, which to this day sticks in my head, of my mom saying, "Do unto others as you'd have them do unto you." I believe for me it has now shifted to treat others the way they would like to be treated, because people from different cultures and backgrounds may want different things and value different ideas. I would want to respect that. We also spoke about the 4 key virtues of competition, and those stuck out to me. They include fairness, integrity, responsibility, and respect. I agree and want to uphold all 4 of these virtues as a coach and as an athletic director. But I do believe that fairness would be the greatest of all 4. Without fairness, competition cannot truly exist. Winning on the field of play only comes when one knows they have competed fairly with honesty to the rules of the game. Sportsmanship versus gamemanship. When it comes to college athletics, the line between sportsmanship and gamemanship can become blurred. There's a lot of pressure and money in sports to win at all costs. Something that stuck out to me was the Blue Chips video, where we see the pressure that comes along with big-time coaching jobs. For me, sportsmanship is extremely important. It is important to win the right way. I believe that coaches can be successful while making ethical decisions and following the rules. Another term that I believe is common in college athletics is bracketed morality. Basically, this means that people act differently or have a different set of morals in sport versus real life. I do not agree with this attitude and believe that one should act accordingly in both same sports and in real life. The value theory is something that also stuck out to me, and I know I follow. I have core values that are at the bottom of every decision I make in my life. These are in no order, except the first two, family and faith, definitely are in almost every decision I face or every dilemma that I face. After that, the others are in no particular order, but they are characteristics that I find important. Um, Intelligence, honesty, fairness, as we just talked about, are all very important to me. This slide, to me, represents courage. Courage is something else that I find important and valuable. I believe that in my job, especially when I one day do become an athletic director, I will need the courage to speak up in all pressure situations. I believe that unethical situations tend to arise because people do not have the courage to stand up to others or for what they believe in. I think people are scared of being fired, losing friends, or getting a reputation, and they go along with the unethical behavior. I hope that one day when I need it, I will have courage and I will stand up for what I believe, no matter what the consequence. I love the quote Brooke Dieterlein stated, "Courage is the ability to act from your heart in the face of fear." I hope to accomplish that. Moving forward on the last few slides, these are more about the future and where I see myself down the road. I would love to one day become an athletic director. To me, I want to create an ethical culture based on relationships with people who share my moral values. I want to empower my staff and student athletes to create intrinsic value for them where they feel valued and needed in my organization. I would love to be a transformational leader and inspire and motivate others every day. I do believe that a good example is Jeff Long. He's been doing a great job of this, and he definitely has the charisma to be a great leader. I believe that leadership ultimately determines your company's success, and an unethical leader can cause crisis for years to come down the road. As we have seen all over social media and in the news, college athletics are facing a lot of issues. This list of scandals in sports is just a few. In today's world, athletic directors have to be on top of these, knowledgeable, and research these areas. They have to know these ethical issues and make sure their staff is on board with whatever plan they come up with. The message has to also be communicated throughout the department, all the way to the student athletes. Some of these that stand out to me that we spoke about in class include the PEDs, paying players, academic fraud. These are current issues facing the NCAA that will need to change in the immediate future. I would love to make an impact of changing sports for the better and coming up with some conclusion for these issues in the future. Making a difference in this area is something I would love to do. I believe that with social learning theory, that youth and the ladies would love to see more women in administrative positions so that they know that it's possible to achieve any dream that you have. There is a need for more female role models in athletics and in power positions. The graph shows that after Title IX, there's been a constant drop in the number of female coaches and administrators. Title IX made women head coaching positions interesting because now they had to be paid the same and treated the same. Therefore, the jobs became more appealing for men. It is a shame to see a drop in women's coaching positions and especially in administrative positions. Women make up only 10.5% of Division I athletic directors. I would love to make an impact in this area and get more women involved in coaching and power positions. For my conclusion, I feel like I learned a lot about myself or how to put into words how I make decisions when faced with ethical dilemmas. I believe it is my duty to help others and influence student athletes to become successful adults. I hope that one day I can make a difference in the NCAA and college athletics and in whatever organization I end up in. I want to win. I am very competitive, but I also want to win in the right way. I do believe that you can be successful by being ethical. I have great role models, Pat Summitt, Jean Ariema, that have done that, and I think following their steps is a great way to start. Thank you.